guys, this is Ashley back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. So Nicki Minaj taunts Megan Thee Stallion, according to the fans, and gets clocked by Billboard. Now, Całłś was featured in the new lo-fi sneaker campaign by Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj owns lo-fi. And so a lot of fans, especially the thotties, they're not too happy about this. They're saying that Nicki Minaj only put Całłś in the campaign to get back at Megan Thee Stallion. At first, I thought that this was AI. I thought this was fake. I was like, ain't no way Całłś is in the new sneaker campaign. Wow, that is crazy. Okay. So let me know how y'all feel about that. If you feel like, this was a good look for Całłś and Nicki Minaj. Me personally, I thought it would have been better if she had Bia. Or, Lourdes, that girl that is allegedly not really signed to Nicki Minaj, is heavy on it. But Nicki Minaj is cool with her. She was on Cowgirl. I thought that would have been a better look. Only because they are actually artists and they have more clout, okay, than the Całłś. But let me know how y'all feel about that. Now, Nicki Minaj has been named the greatest pop star of the 21st century by Billboard. Okay. So far, she's the only female rapper on the list. And we're going to go over the rest of the list later on in this video. Now, Devil Nation must have sent a check because they completely trashed the Nicki Minaj. Okay. They said, for Minaj 2024 has been marked by the continuation of her Pink Friday 2 trek with a creation of the forthcoming next installment, her Pink Friday album series. With a career that spans 2 decades across the hip-hop underground and pop's apex alike, Nicki Minaj has been the ultimate victor, villain, and survivor of the 21st century pop music and culture. Sometimes, at the same time, her allegiance to alleged predators and abusers, embraced by problematic conspiracy theories and weaponization of her and her fans' parasocial relationships, are all truths that are unerasable from Minaj's legacy. A provocateur in the truest sense. Minaj knows what buttons to press, and she always ready to Hulk smash them. She's fearless in that way, but it is her seeming fear of being replaced and cast aside that keeps her demanding the spotlight like any great pop star. Watching her grapple with the battle is a priceless front row seat to the madhouse that is the 21st century fame. He really threw hella shots in there if you really think about it. Devil Nation had to be behind that. Camel Face was like, listen, she been dragging me. I need you to write this in the article. That's exactly what happened. Now, a lot of fans, especially the Barbs, are calling out Billboard, saying when they had announced that I think Camel Face was like the 16th greatest pop star in the 21st century. I don't know how. I mean, I don't understand. I can understand if it was the 90s or maybe early 2000s, but in the 21st centuries, I don't know about that. But anyway, and we're saying that, how comes Billboard didn't mention that Camel Face was a drug dealer? He sold his mama crack. His best friends in the industry are Diddy and Robert Kelly. All of his beefs that he had in the industry. The fact that he allegedly slept with younger girls. And I'm going to tell you why they didn't mention that in his, article for him being one of the greatest pop stars of the 21st century. Because he's a gatekeeper and he has a lot of power and pull. And Devil Nation said, Nicki keeps dragging me, right? She was dragging D0JA. Remember, she was calling Desiree D0JA. She was dragging Megan, dragging Devil Nation. So they gonna pay for publications to drag her. Okay, that's how you play chess. Okay, that's how they're doing it. They're gonna pay the articles to drag Nicki Minaj, and they're going to do that especially when Pink Friday 3 drops, okay? See, the devil works hard, but Devil Nation works harder. So Nicki Minaj got to be careful because Camel Face is going to be coming for her. Now, moving on to D0JA Cat, Tyla tells Vogue Japan that she wants to work with D0JA. She said, in the future, I would love to make a song with D0JA Cat. No. Okay? The upbeat African kid, stop where she's at. You need a hit, so don't try to crawl to the female rappers because you need a hit. No shade to Tyla, but you need to survive in the industry on your own. You've had enough collaborations. You did a song with Gunna, Rema, I believe. Okay? Like, I don't want to hear you in D0JA Cat. I'll pass on that. No shade. Okay? I don't even think that would sound well. Now, it looks like Azalea Stanks is clout chasing also because she low-key sticks up for D0JA Cat. As we know, Pitchfork put out the 100 best songs of the 2020s so far, since the decade is half over. And Azalea Stanks says, Say So by D0JA Cat should be on here instead of Espresso. It's literally a D0JA Cat throwaway. Say So should definitely be on the list. I don't know why it would not be. Say So was definitely one of the best songs in the 2020s. I don't understand why it wouldn't be on the list. That is very odd. But as usual, Pitchfork usually always gets it wrong. Now, moving on to Cardi B. Cardi B goes off on Barty Gang for letting bozos flop.
Hey, I will never forgive y'all on how y'all did this song. This song here is in the club.
Now, in my opinion, bozos was trash. Okay, so I don't feel like, the fans were wrong for not supporting the record. I think Cardi B is really upset because she spent $2 million. Well, not her, but Titanic Records, which is, also one of the labels that is in debt and going bankrupt. They spent, $2 million on the music video. So I think she's probably more upset about how much was spent to promote the album. She also performed at the Video Music Awards with Megan Thee Stallion. It was getting playlisting, it was getting radio, and the song still flopped. So I think that's why she's really upset. But the song is not a hit. I'm sorry. It does not bang in a club. Only to you. Nobody else. Now, Pitchfork also names Renaissance by Queen Bee as the 5th best album released this decade so far. I agree. It definitely is the 5th best album released this decade. If we were talking about impact, Renaissance is that girl. Everybody was effing with Renaissance. Renaissance is better than Cowboy Carter. So, I have to agree with this statement, okay? Queen Bee deserved her 10s. Hopefully, Act 3 will just be as great because Act 2 was trash. So, hopefully, Act 3 will be as good as Renaissance. If not, unfortunately, I'm going to have to give Queen Bee Donkey of the Day. I don't want to do that when Act 3 drops. So I'm going to need you to really bring it, okay? And not be lazy. And actually put out music videos, okay? And promote your singles. The nonchalantness in promoting your albums and singles is getting tired. It's getting boring. And you're doing the same thing you've been doing for the last 5 years. You got to try something new. So I'm going to need more from you for Act 3. Okay, Queen Bee, or you're going to receive Donkey of the Day. Now, the queen of the bubbling underchart, Scratch Off, Brokey has moved up 14 spots on the bubbling underchart for Scratch Off at number 8. This is a new peak after 3 weeks. I'm like, damn, she's staying the bubbling under. Scratch Off is the only female rapper I know that could constantly put out music and still flop and never get dropped. It must be due to colorism, just like Sweetie. Her and Sweetie never chart, always releasing music, always putting out music videos, not recouping anything. It must be great to be light-skinned, okay, and got a BBL, because it just don't make no sense, okay? I think Scratch Off's budget should have went to Normani, okay? They didn't even give Normani a chance. She didn't even put out one music video. Scratch Out done put out like 4 or 5 music videos and it still can't chart. Got Radio has a Champagne Thickums collaboration. We not gonna forget about that. She has a Champagne Thickums collaboration and still didn't chart. That's crazy. Wow. Now, moving on to the Princess of Pop, Sabrina Carpenter will be featured on Lil Durk's new album, track called Timeless Love. I gotta hear what this sound like. This might really do something, okay? Now, I'm not a huge Lil Durk fan, but I'll listen because Sabrina's on it. This actually might be fire. This might be one of the ones. A lot of pop stars nowadays, like the Olivia Rodrigos, the Billie Eilishes, they don't do a lot of hip-hop collaborations. So hopefully this song is fire, okay? I'm interested to see how this is going to sound. Now, Lil Durk got an album or mixtape coming out called Love for the Streets, and it's going to feature Sabrina Carpenter, Races Wallin, Rod Wave, Lil Baby, Future, Kai Cenat, and Speed. Okay, so he got a decent feature list. I don't understand why he got streamers as features, but you know he needs the clout. Okay, like why would you put Kai Cenat and Speed on a record? We really don't need to hear Dumb and Dumber talk and yell on a song. I mean, I really don't want to hear that, so I'm probably going to skip those 2 records. But everything else, I'm interested in hearing. Now, Paola Board's greatest pop stars of the 21st century list so far is Nicki Minaj at number 13. I agree with that. Justin Timberlake, I agree with that at number 14. Purdy Chicken, I guess. Camel Face, I don't know how he's on the list. Must have paid for that. Shakira, I agree with that. The Weeknd, I agree with that. BTS, no, not for me. Absolutely not. Bruno, I agree with that. Wayne, of course. Icon, Legend. One Direction. Now, they would have been better off just putting Harry Styles. I don't understand One Direction as a whole as one of the greatest pop stars of the 21st century. I don't know about that. They should have just put Harry Styles at number 22 and called it the day, because he's the only one that's really relevant, if we're being completely honest. No shade. Zayn done fell off. Now, Bad Bunny at number 23, Ed Sheeran, maybe, possibly. He has a lot of hits under his belt. And Katy Perry at number 25. I agree with that. Katy Perry, despite her flopping, she is probably one of the greatest pop stars, okay, of the 21st century. But let me know if you guys agree with this list. Who do you think is missing? But the list ain't done yet, okay? They still got, it looks like 13 more people or 12 more people to go. 12 more people will be added to this list. And I feel like the Chart Obsessed Races or Queen Bee probably going to be at number 1. They at least going to be top 5. Now, Paola Board put out the best-selling female artist in 2024 so far by total units. Billie at number 2. I completely agree with that. She did a phenomenal job with her album. Number 3, SZA. Wow, she taking over 2024, and her album came out in 2022. SOS came out like 2 years ago. Queen Bee at number 4. How is Queen Bee letting SZA outsell her like that? Queen Bee, you gotta step it up. Sabrina Carpenter at number 5. Ari at number 6. Olivia Rodrigo at number 7. I love Olivia Rodrigo. Lana at number 8. Riri, she ain't even dropped. She ain't even dropped in like a decade. And she's still at number 9. And Chappelle at number 10. So congratulations to these ladies. Now, the king of rap, Kung Fu Kenny, has definitely been dominating. Chart Data and Paola Board put out the best-selling rap songs by total units this year so far. And Not Like Us is number 1. That's what I'm talking about. And Like That is number 2. And Kung Fu Kenny is on both those songs. Okay. Loving Me is number 3. Carnival at number 4. Red Drum at number 5. Never Lose Me. That's by Flo Milli at number 6. Type-ish at number 7. Fiend at number 8. Whatever She Wants at number 9. Oh, is that by Bryson Tiller? I like that song. And Wannabe by Gorilla Glue and Megan Thee Stallion is at number 10. Okay, so congratulations to everybody that is on this list too. Now, it's not looking good for your boy, Bottom Bussy Diddy. Houston lawyer Tony Busby reveals that over 100 new civil suits are being filed against Diddy, which will include new charges, okay, and announces a plan to launch a phone hotline for new Diddy accusers. Oh my goodness, not a hotline. Goodness gracious, he worse than Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he was eating people. They said the civil suits for these allegations, there's over allegedly 120 accusers, for a span of over a 20-year period. They're saying that the victims are as young as 9, 14, and 15 years of age. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. Oh my goodness. Wow. Who knew Diddy could be this evil? They might as well just off him. They might as well just put him on the electric chair. He doesn't even deserve 30 years. And I know people are saying, oh, he needs to rot. But I think that if he finds an F-body in jail, he'll be okay. And he's rich. So he's going to get special treatment in jail. Allegedly, he's not even with the general population. He's completely by himself. And that's because he's Diddy. They can't put him with other people. Not right now. Okay? But I think that they should just off him. He doesn't really deserve to live, in my opinion. Wouldn't be shocked if he offs himself, to be quite honest. But I don't think he deserves to live, in my opinion. I feel like if you did all of this at 9 years old, that's crazy. That's sick. 9 years old? Wow. Yeah, he gotta go. Now, Champagne Thickums will be receiving Donkey of the Day. Champagne Thickums has unfollowed multiple people on Instagram, Kung Fu Kenny, Playboy Cardi, because Playboy Cardi got a song with Kung Fu Kenny, allegedly. LeBron, Rick Ross, D0JA, and Joe Budden, okay? And allegedly more people. A lot of those people were crip walking to Not Like Us, okay? And so, Champagne Thickums, he feels some type of way still. And it looks like he has now hit the unfollow button. But then I did some research and I'd start saying, well, he better not follow Diddy anymore. And look at what we have here. He's following Diddy still. Interesting. See, you never gonna beat the pedo allegations, Champagne Bottom Thickums, okay? I always knew that you was no good, okay? You probably was at the freak-offs with Diddy. That's why you don't want to hit the unfollow button, because you guilty. How you gonna unfollow D-Rose, Playboy Cardi, Bron, but not Diddy? At least I can understand if you want to follow Diddy and Kung Fu Kenny, because Kung Fu Kenny put out one of the best diss records of all time against you, and it's still charting. I think it's at number 11 on Billboard. But the fact that you unfollowed all these people and not Diddy after all the allegations and all the people coming out just shows that you're guilty. And Kung Fu Kenny was right about you being a pedo. You probably on them tapes. Okay, so that's why you can't really hit the unfollow button, because you're guilty as charged. See, I always knew that Kung Fu Kenny was telling the truth about you. I always knew you was guilty, and that's why you're not hitting the unfollow button. I just can't believe you would do that. I mean, you such a bitch. You gonna follow all these other people, but not one of the worst humans in the world? Really? I know you saw that tape of him being Cassie, but you one of the sick ones in the game too. So I can't be shocked, but you will be receiving Donkey of the Day. Now, if you just had unfollowed Kung Fu Kenny, I can understand. But Playboy Cardi didn't do nothing to you. Joe Budden did not do nothing to you. Just because he criticizes your music and the fact that you lost the beef, he didn't really do nothing to you. But one of the most evil men on earth you're still following. Very interesting. So, Azalea Stinks decides that she is going to chime in on this Nicki Minaj ad campaign featuring Całłś. Azalea's thing says, why is she riding a bicycle in the subway? Why is she sitting on a trash can? Why didn't sis get JT and Bia to do these ads? I don't think it's smart to advertise a Nicki Minaj product with anyone directly connected to an alleged shooting of another artist. I get the dig she's trying to make, but is it the right move on a corporate level, considering how big and influential Nicki is? For all this, just forgive Ice Spice and have her be in the ads. I mean, it's already given Ice Spice album cover tease. Okay? So, she's basically saying what I said earlier in my video, where I felt like Bia, or I think Lourdes, whatever that girl's name that was on Cowgirl, they should have been, in my opinion, in the ad instead of Całłś. One, because they're bigger in the industry than her. Całłś, she's mostly known for being Megan Thee Stallion's ex-best friend, if we're being completely honest. It's like that's her identity right now. People don't care what else that she does, whether it's management, being connected still to 1501. People don't really care about that. People only associate her with Megan, and I feel like, this controversy can kind of overshadow the campaign, if we're being completely honest. So, that's why I said Lourdes, whatever her name is in Bia. I know she don't mess with JT, and so I wouldn't even think to say JT or Ice Spice. But Lourdes and Bia would have been good for this type of advertising.